Let's look at an example where SendMessage can break. Currently, we're just immediately sending message to our target, which is the transform of our player. Okay, so we're sending message deduct health. We want to call a function on a script, on any script, on this transform that is named deduct health. Okay, what if my player didn't have a script on it with deduct health? What if it didn't have any scripts at all? What happens now? Okay, so the send message is trying to send a message, trying to call a function deduct health, but it has no receiver. There is no script. There is no line of behavior on that transform. Okay, so that's where it can break. So how can we look at fixing that? Because there might be some cases where you might have a target and it might not have the function. So we have the third parameter here, send message options, require receiver. Now currently this is pretty much what our script is set up to be doing. And especially if we set the send message options to require a receiver, an error is printed when the message is not picked up by any component, the script being a component. Okay, so what's the other side of the coin? Send message options. Okay, we have require receiver, which we just looked at, and don't require receiver. So no receiver is required for the send message. So let's see if we can put that in. So put that in as a parameter. Again, our player, even if it had another script on it, let's just put my timer, a basic example of a timer. Now here there is definitely no function called deduct health, but we do have a script on the player, just to prove an example. Okay, that's just part of that script, that timer. Okay, but we don't have the error message like before. Now let's just show again. If we had send message options require receiver, or if this was blank, so we're trying to send a message to a function called deduct health, and we require receiver. Now we don't have any scripts of that function name on it. And there, just like the first example, it's broken, because as it says, as it tells us here, it has no receiver. Okay, right here. Just to stop it from breaking, we'll set it to don't require receiver, because there you saw it's working. So now we don't have a function on this transform with that function name, and it hasn't broken. Alright, let's reset that back to the way it's supposed to be. So checking our player, we're back with our player health script. Now we do have a receiver, so one, we won't get the error anyway, and this will still work. Here we go. Now looking at that, that's a hard-coded value of 10 that's being reduced every time. How can we make our NPC scripts more flexible? So for different NPCs, we can also do different amounts of damage. Let's look at adding that. So back to the Unity scripting reference first. We've looked at the first parameter and the last parameter. Sent a value. And in the example here, look, apply damage of 5. This is pretty much exactly what we're doing. So first let's set up a variable to store our NPC attack amount. Let's create that under attack delay. And we'll make it public because depending on your NPC, you want to change the amount of damage it does. Currently I have it set to 10, which is so we can see something different going on. Let's set it to 15. So now we're going to send message, but we're also going to send this value, our attack amount. Okay, so there's the function name as a string, there's the value, and there's the receiver options, just in case we don't have a script with this function name on it. So I'll save that out. That's the first half done. Now we're trying to send a value to a function, just like we did before in moving. See how we can send a value to a function in these parentheses? So that's what we're trying to do here. So let's look at the player health script. So we don't have an amount here yet. So let's create a variable inside the parameters here that we can send that value to. So this is going to be the amount as a float. Now we have an amount, we can get rid of this hard-coded value because we're going to be deducting our health by the amount. So save that out. Let's see that in action. So here we have the amount of damage our NPC is going to do. Let's watch the player health this time. Yeah, 85, 70, 85. So that's going down by 15. Similarly, we can change this attack amount. Now watching the player health again. They're only taking 2 off it per 0.8 seconds. So they're sending a value to a function with SendMessage as well.